What's up, my fellow adult collector? Welcome to SeViLion Collectibles. In this video, I'll be reviewing the brand new Power Rangers Lightning Collection Wal-Mart Exclusive Zordon Alpha 2-pack. If you have this 2-pack on pre-order via the Wal-Mart app or website, it's probably still processing. However, this pack has recently started to show up in physical stores. This is a bit frustrating to me because, in my opinion, pre-ordering isn't just about guaranteeing that you get one, but guaranteeing that you get it when it becomes first available. If this is your first time landing on my channel, hi, my name is SeViLion, and here I like to discuss action figures and other collectibles based on my favorite movies, TV shows, and video games. If you find this video enjoyable or informative, please give me a thumbs up, don't forget to subscribe, and hit that notification bell. So, I'm going to start this process off with a good, slow, up and down look at Zordon of Eltar. The tube design really reminds me more of his appearance during Power Rangers Zeo and his occasional appearances on Power Rangers Turbo and in space. In the original MMPR design, the tube itself was much taller, and you really didn't even see the top or bottom of it. The back side of the structure isn't even really part of the design, it's just the flat back with all the copyright information. To make the light up function work, you'll have to purchase batteries separately and then install them in this bottom compartment down here. It's not bright enough to be able to see under my normal lighting. In fact, I'll go ahead and turn off all the lights in the room so you can see just how bright it gets. The light itself does have a bit of a pulsing pattern to it, so it's not just steady on at the same level all the time. I do wish they'd put the light behind the Zordon face rather than under it. Coming from underneath the chin, it seems like it lights up all the wrong parts. The jawline is much too bright, and the eyes are much too dark. I'll show you a couple more angles from both above and below, that way you can get a better idea of what I'm talking about. Granted, it doesn't look completely terrible, but I do think it could have been done better. Next up, I'll give you a good slow up and down look at both the front and back of Alpha 5. Right off the bat, this figure does look pretty great, but I do have some complaints. Number one, while Alpha did have some blue parts, such as the arms, and the, I guess you'd say, shin guards and thigh guards on the legs, there's supposed to be a lot of black on the most underneath parts. When you take a look at the bottom of the helmet, that last frame that's painted blue was supposed to be black, like the part around the visor. In fact, the entire neckline should have been black. The same thing goes for the waistline underneath the red plates. The bulk of the main body is sculpted in that blue color, so they may have just not wanted to paint the extra black in. They may have just deemed it unnecessary, but either way, it's still not quite right. The overall sculpt, though, does look great. Similar to the way they make the shields for the white, green, or other armored rangers, the red parts here are additional pieces floating over the main body sculpt. Even underneath the armor, though, the body is still textured. The legs are also sculpted very well with a high level of detail. But again, there should have been some black underneath the plates. When it comes around to the back side of the legs, there appears to be a huge drop in color detail. When you compare these to the plates on the front, it loses the gold trim and the glossiness of the whole plate itself. For a line that's considered to be high deco, it's disappointing when they leave off details like this. Alpha's one and only accessory is his teddy bear, Teddy Alpha, Alpha Teddy, Stuffed Alpha. He had this little guy in the pilot episode, but I couldn't tell you how often it appeared after that. Next up, I'm going to run you through Alpha's articulation. The neck appears to be on a ball joint, but it really only gets a little bit of range up, down, and tilting sideways. Of course, it does have full rotation side to side though. The shoulders can technically spin all the way around, but the shoulder pads of the armor do block that motion. They can still move back pretty far. The elbows are only single jointed, but there is rotation at that joint. The wrists also have full rotation along with a peg for up and down movement, but it doesn't do very much. The torso still uses the typical Lightning Collection frame with the ball joint on the top and the ab crunch in the lower waist. So, Alpha does maintain a pretty good range of motion as far as all that is concerned. Moving down to the legs, the hips do spread out at a decent range side to side, as well as front to back. There is thigh cut rotation, the knees are double jointed, and the ankle does have a full range of pivot motion. And now, the last thing I want to show you is the size comparison. Alpha was always portrayed as a character being less than 5 foot tall, so this is about right. And as far as the head of Zordon in the tube is concerned, it's probably about right as well, but it would need to be much higher up to appropriately fit in the command center. Finally, with all that said, it's time to run this Power Rangers Lightning Collection Zordon and Alpha 5 2-pack through my guidelines for a complete and fair review. These are totally new sculpts that are highly detailed, but the colors of Alpha 5 are not very accurate. They are in scale with the Lightning Collection, and the big feet of Alpha do help him balance really well. Alpha does not meet my 20-point threshold for articulation, but did include the little bear accessory. Unfortunately, I will have to count Alpha's paint problems as a quality control issue, but the roughly $30 price point for the whole pack is fair, and as of this recording, it should be pretty widely available in Walmart physical stores, just not yet online. Leading my final score to a 7 out of 10 star rating, meaning it's still pretty amazing and worth owning for all fans of the characters. So while this set is not perfect by any means, it's still pretty nice to have. If you were brought into the Power Rangers show like I was via the original Mighty Morphin series, these are definitely worth adding to your Lightning collection.